Hey, and welcome back to awtoolbox.com. My name's Glenn Keller, and in this demonstration, we are still talking about the prerequisites of what we need before we install the software bare minimum. If you are installing additional features and things, you may need more, but these are the baseline objects. So far, we've talked about the database. Getting the database is essential. You need that for when you first install the software, but there are a couple of other components that you really need to pay attention to. Teamcenter does ride on Java. Java is used throughout the Teamcenter environment, even with the adoption of Active Workspace, though Active Workspace Client isn't as dependent on it. The server side still is fairly heavily dependent on it. So in here, we have a Java installation that we needed to set up in order to support the installation of Teamcenter. So one of the things we're going to talk about in this video is just a couple of tidbits for the Java installation, what versions you need. Again, refer to the hardware certifications links that we provide to the Siemens site so that you can make sure you have the correct version for your version of Teamcenter. We're installing 2506, so we'll use the version of Java related to that version. So we're going to talk about Java. Our installation is inside of this program files Java. This is our JDK. We're using Tamarin in our build, but I have seen Corretto, Zulu. Those two are also supported at this version. And I have seen alternative JDKs work, so some sites that can only use Oracle. It's hit or miss. It's not supported, but it has worked in the past. So in here we have the JDK and JRE. One tidbit about the Java installation is I would make sure that I made the folder non-version specific like this, so that it's just JDK. If you add the numbers, there's several pointers in the Teamcenter environment that have a direct pointer to the Java version. If you need to update Java and it's still within the supported realm for Teamcenter, it's beneficial to make sure that this is standardized to only update in a JDK folder so you don't break the references to the environment variables or to the hard set paths inside of Teamcenter. If you're using Linux, you can always just add the new Java package to the JVM and then just set the operating system to that, and it should pick up if you use the /users. All right, so go out, get your version of Java. You need to have that installed on most machines. The only ones that won't need it are machines that are running only Active Workspace, because that's in a browser. If they have any type of integrated software like NX, maybe they have a rich client, a BMIDE, anything that's going to run on their client machines, they're probably going to need Java as well. It's really only Active Workspace that gives you that Java free client installation. All right, so Java was one of the things. We'll come back to that a couple of times throughout the environment. One of the ways that we're going to come back to it is looking at the environment variables. Right before we go to do the deploy, we're going to double check what's all set. So we might as well just go in there and take a look at it now. If I go to environment variables here, you can see I've got Java home set. If it isn't set in your environment, I highly recommend it. It is pointing to the JDK. JRE home is also pointing to the JDK. And then just note, like we've seen in other videos, we have our license demonstration. Make sure you have a valid license and that the FlexLM tools is coming back and showing you that everything's working when you perform a status check on it. I put the SPLM license server address in here so that it knows what value to use to get that license when you go to log in. Down below, I've also repeated it in the system variables for other users that may log into the system. So I've got the license server. I've also got a root logging directory that I like to set so that the system uses this as the logging directory. It puts everything in one spot for me. So I've got the environment variable set here. I've got the Java installation down. So a couple other things, we've talked about the database, we've talked about Java, and other prerequisites that you may want to have on your servers, or even on your client machines if you're available, is a nice editor. Now, this doesn't have to be Visual Studio Code, though Visual Studio Code is an extremely nice editor. It does allow you a lot of capability with, and is the recommended editor for active workspace customization. What it does is it allows you to open up folders, so more like an operating system level. So you can come in here and say open folder, and then you can pick what folder you would like to dive down into. And in there, now you get it kind of like a project, and you can open up different things, create new files. But where the real power is when you want a command line, you don't have to open an administrative command prompt. You can launch this application as administrator, and then you can open up a PowerShell script or a CMD, which is what we typically use for Teamcenter, and you can run the different utilities that you'll need for Teamcenter using this interface instead of having to have multiple windows open. To each his own. Notepad++ is also a fantastic tool that I use a lot in different environments, and some environments will restrict you to which tool you can use. Just recommend this one. In addition, I like to have 2 browser types in any fresh installation, or at least 2 available to any installation, so I can weed out if an error is related to the browser or not. In the operating system, another thing that I like to go through and do is set up some preemptive folders. Now, your media may be being managed on a map drive, so just pay attention to in the attached links and reference material where it says that specific pointers or references to other servers, map drives. Sometimes those are supported, sometimes they're not. For the most part, they are, but just pay attention to that. Usually I like to have the media on the box, and I just update throughout, but that's just a personal preference. I have my Oracle installation, as you'll see in the Oracle database installation video. So I've also got a Siemens folder that I've preemptively created that's empty, and this is just kind of where I'm going to put all the Siemens software. On the server side, I like to make sure that it's in a non-spaced location. And the reason for that is because if it has a space, then I have to worry about quotes around things and different batch scripts and SHA files. So I just don't want to deal with it, and I like to tune it to this very short little directory. I also, in a Windows box, don't have to worry too much about path length if I keep it into this location. So you'll see my TC root, my installation directory, my TC data, my data model directory, and all of that kind of thing get put into here. And I will probably have it divided out into multiple folders so you can get a respect for how you could have different things installed in different ways. But I highly recommend getting kind of a parent folder there. I also have my web application server. So my web application server, I have a blog post on this on the site. You can install, I use Wildfly, it's a freeware version. I'm not running in production, it works for me. I've also got a license for WebLogic, Tomcat. Those are all supported application servers for the Teamcenter environment. Now, WebLogic wasn't supported in 24.12, but is again in 25.06, so that's great. Wildfly is a very easy setup in here, and this is what I'm going to use to deploy my WAR files, both my Teamcenter WAR file as well as my single sign-on WAR files once we get to that point. So in here, this is just kind of what it looks like. Zoom It is just the tool that you'll see me use in the videos where I draw different lines and go here. It's a freeware tool from Microsoft. Just Google Zoom It and try it out if you want. All right, so got my directories, I've got my Java installation, I've got my database installation. At this point, if this is an installation that's going to support customization, maybe you want your IDE, your Visual Studio Code, or your Eclipse environment installed on the box. If you are going to install something that's going to integrate with NX, I know this is meant more for the server side, but if you have NX sitting on a Windows server as well, just to help with the interaction and test things out before you push to the clients, note that that should be installed prior. I would take that as a prereq. There are some pointers that you'll have to know during the installation as to where that's going to be installed, so you might as well install it first. Office would need to be in here if you're going to point to and run the installation for the Office integration pieces. So just kind of do that due diligence. The other thing that you'll want to pay attention to in the hardware certifications is the version of the operating system that you're running. So if I go into the About, I've got 32 gig, which is good for a single box instance or a distributed environment. That's going to be low yield, something like a dev environment for me. And then this version of the operating system is going to be a 2019 server. So 2019 to 2022 for 2506, not too bad. I might get a little bit of a slowdown once I get deployment center and microservices and a whole bunch of the beef into the installation, but we'll see. So I'm going to close some of these files. That's just some of my prep work. Later on, we'll create shortcuts to things. The license server, Oracle database server, and the folder structures are all created. And I think in the next video, what we're going to do is just kind of branch into setting up the first components of Teamcenter. So we're going to go in, we're going to introduce Deployment Center. We're going to install it. We'll do everything bare minimum, take us through that happy path installation of just kind of the lowest common denominator, the lowest amount of things that you have to have, and consider that you have installed Teamcenter. And then once we get that, we're going to run it again and again, focusing on different things that we can do, different places we can generate scripts, what features we can add, and what benefits they give us, until we have a nice fully distributed environment. So again, a lot of the things we'll do at the start is going to be on this one server, but as we build, we're going to start moving things off as they need to be on their own servers to maximize capacity. Thanks for joining.